Yo, what's up, compadres? Welcome back to another episode. It's your host with the most from the West Coast, SB Press, reporting live from Mastermind Media. And this time to my right, Ilson himself.
Yep.
And also to my right, Joe Rosati himself.
How you guys doing?
Yes, that was a good one. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing musician in this house. Not just a musician, songwriter, mumble rapper, entertainer, and a person of the people. Yes. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we got Døvydås in the house. And thank you for being here. Oh, that's what y'all... I didn't even hear that at first. Okay, compadres. Let's get this thing started.
Yeah, ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quit. Yeah, gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah, better move out the way, cause I'm coming with hard.
We're gonna go ahead and intro this amazing talent in the house. I gotta say, he's a master with the instruments. Oh, he had to look one way, look the other. He's like, let me check my shadow. I don't know if is there somebody behind me? No.
Yeah, who's that?
We're talking about you, the great Døvydås, man.
Thank you.
If you guys have not, get on his YouTubes. Incredible individual when it comes to ripping it up. And I just gotta say thank you for being here with us today. Anybody else want to go ahead and
singer, songwriter, top 5 guitarists in the world, in my opinion.
In the world.
In
our
world. No lies. And just a great overall talent as far as, mumble rapper.
That song?
Bro.
Diving deep.
When I say I'm a fan,
oh my God.
Been watching for so long, man. And you're awesome. I so appreciate you coming in today, brother.
And I concur with everyone says, and I want to put one little gem in there. I find it amazing how heartfelt you are to your people that come out just out of nowhere, and just you sit there and you make music with them, have never met them, and just to see the positivity that comes out that over time is awesome. It's amazing to me, man. So I think you're one of a kind, that's for damn sure, brother.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate you being here today.
Thank you for shining light on us today, brother.
This is nice. Come more often. You make me feel so good. Wow.
Yeah,
listen,
brother.
You know the talent it takes, and everybody on this panel right now knows that I'm an audio engineer. You know the talent it takes to make a song on the spot with equipment.
Right.
And is it relative pitch or is it perfect pitch? What did it something you learned or?
I don't know. It's kind of like it's improvisation, you know. It's sort of like when you talk to like a really good friend, you know, you don't have to have a pre-written teleprompter or like I'm gonna say, how have you been? I'm also gonna ask, what did you do last Wednesday? And then I'm gonna by the way, would you like to hang out? And here's my Google. Right? So like everyone already improvises, right? I just like translate it into music, and then it's like I just improvise with sound as opposed to speech, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, I love the fact that you definitely are a person of the people. Every person that comes up to you gets to take away a part of you in a spiritual way. Can you just tell me your favorite song to play for people?
It's always different because like no crowd is the same, no room is the same. So it's like just like you tune a guitar and then you have a warm-up act before you play, or you gotta warm up the crowd in the venue with some songs to where they're like vibing and they're hyped, and then there will be that one song that just like, oh my God. And that can be different composition, that can be a different original, or it can be a cover, and then some you know work better than others, you know. But yeah, like I edited this whole set I did in Kentucky out of 3 shows in Lexington I did. And there was this venue. It's sort of like a long, like an old-fashioned barn, but like lower ceiling. And I did like a remix on "I Like to Move It, Move It," right? And they just lost it. And that was in given those conditions, both physically because of the size of the space, you know, and the people, and the combination of who they are and how high or not they were in the moment. That song hit them. So those kind of songs are my favorite to play, and they are a different song every time.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. That's
I like
awesome.
to move it.
That's an oldie, man. I love that song.
So we have a little segment we do on the show, right? And it's like first thing that comes to mind. So our producer over here, John's gonna put up a couple images.
Okay.
And the queen behind the scenes.
We all will just look, and then you know.
Oh, she's like waving.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no doubt. But it's a fun segment, man. So she'll put up something, and we kind of just look at the camera, and then when it's up,
she'll tell us, and then we'll go look at it.
They had me closing my eyes.
We'll start from you and snake back. You know? And it's a fun.
First thing come to mind, just let it rip.
First thing, yeah, man.
Let it rip.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Okay,
yep,
okay.
You got it.
One different one.
Okay.
Surprise.
All right.
Right.
No,
Surprise, mother lovers. Large fries, mother lovers.
All rise.
All rise, mother lovers.
I've seen the meme. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, we see your search. We see your search.
Sorry, don't.
You're not supposed to look.
This is why they had me close my eyes. No cheating.
You should have seen it last week.
It was so funny.
No
This dude the
cheating.
whole time.
I was just in there.
His ass was
not
looking for the
knowing.
camera on there.
Yeah, we will.
Well, at first.
Okay. Okay.
We'll put Mark. His phone's connected.
Oh, man.
Yes.
That's funny. It really is cool, though, definitely. I will say we will dive into your backstory here after we play this little fun game.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
And we'll keep the mic from being dead.
Okay.
So how about some more experiences, right? Kentucky, the space, and how that all went down. Is it conducive when you go to different arenas or different areas playing outside versus inside, you know, and like the whole
Well, it's really weird because like before YouTube, it like, you know, always mattered on the venue. And now it's like, I can like make a video, hey, come see me play live. And then, you know, somebody will come, you know, either like, you know, a little bit of people or like sometimes 100 to 300, you know, they'll just show up. So I'll be like setting up and just like putting my gear together and they're like screaming, you know, so it's like, and then like, who are you guys? And then everyone's laughing. And then it's like, I literally did a show, where was I? Huntington Beach. Mm-hmm. And everything I said, they were laughing. It was like as if I'm a stand-up comedian. Like,
right.
I'm like, hey guys, that was not even supposed to be funny. They're like losing it. They're losing it, you know? So, because they're like, you know, everyone came and, you know, bought the tickets and so they're like already like, they've seen me, they know my jokes, they know how I say one person who makes all the videos, or, you know, allegedly, or just you know, mumble rapper, Amish Whip, you know, it's really, really weird experience, you know, to like perform for people that already know you, you know?
Yeah, you do have a traveling fan base and stuff like that.
Dude, there's a guy, he tattooed my logo. Yeah, yes, like that's permanent.
How do you feel about that? I mean, how do you feel about that, really?
Well, I mean, he's an adult, so he gets
He has his own consent.
your body, your choice.
Right. Right.
You know?
Right.
I remember that guy came out of the woodworks and gave you that Fender guitar. I was like, can you play this?
Yeah. Dude, there's a guy who made an LED sign. It's like this big of my logo. And then there's another guy, he made a Viking shield with my logo. Like a full-size Viking shield, you know? Yeah. So
What's been your favorite prompt to get from a fan?
Well, I guess the functional ones are when the guitar builder makes a guitar,
right.
You know? And there's been some, you know, like really, really great ones, you know? They've extensively studied, you know, like how many, you know, what are the specifications that I like in the guitar, and then like, you know, that gets sent to me. It's like, oh my god, it's like, it's not spoken, but I can see the research that they did because I put my hands on it, and it's like, then it's like it's made for me. As if they know the freaking size, you know?
The dimensions of your hand.
Right.
Yeah. So that's always like amazing, you know, when they do that.
I think we're ready over there, are we?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay. Let's participate.
Okay.
Let's have some fun.
So what's the game? We like look at the thing, right?
Yep. So she's gonna pop it up. We're gonna look back, and then the first thing come to mind, we'll snake
Shoot it.
Okay.
Bam, bam,
Okay,
bam.
okay.
And then the next one, bam, bam. Yep.
All right.
Cool.
Wow.
What we got?
Do this.
That's Purple Rain right there. It's just like
There it is.
There it is.
What a guitar. How practical is that guitar, really, though?
Schecter makes it, and then the company that did before, I forgot what's the name of it, but they still sell it. Actually, there's like a copy of that. It's quite practical because he has full access to the high frets. Right. It's 24 frets. I think it's 25.5-inch scale Floyd Rose, and it's 6-string. So it's actually no different than your regular guitar. So those add-ons don't really get in the way unless you play it sitting down. But even with sitting down, between an O and the thing, you can like put it on your knee. So it's actually fine.
ComPODres, you're now watching a master at work.
A master at work.
Seriously.
No, but I just think it's just he was such a great artist and, inspiration to me personally. So.
Likewise, Tutu, she had the pleasure of working with him. So that was one of the stories that I've constantly asked her about. But the first thing that come to mind for me is a little comment. Shirts versus blouses.
Dave
Chappelle, man. You know who won that one too, right?
I haven't heard that.
Blouses.
You never heard that? You watch Chappelle?
No, yeah.
You gotta
I'm familiar, but like
but you gotta
not
watch the
extensively.
sketch.
Okay.
When he plays Prince.
It does.
Okay.
It's
Play a game of basketball.
It's very hilarious.
Okay.
Especially with the pancakes afterwards.
It's the truth. It's the truth, man.
Or the pancakes before.
No, it was after.
It was after,
It was
right?
after.
Yeah. It's a great sketch.
He said these gave me pancakes after.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man. You want to move to the next one there, man?
And number 2.
I'm bringing sexy back. Yeah. I was listening. It was on the playlist on the way here for whatever reason. I was listening to, it was like a remix between, it was a song called Toxic Pony. It was like Toxic and Ride Your Pony, like together, mashed. And then this came up, like I'm bringing sexy back. So I was just like, see, I'm doing sexy back. Yeah, that's all I'm thinking.
Where you at?
Oh, me? Okay. Disney Channel.
Disney Channel.
Disney Channel.
That's interesting.
Where you at, Lance?
Timberland. Man, without Timberland, JT, he really did bring sexy back with those beats. And so that producer.
I think I'm the
awesome.
I think I'm the only one here on the different level. You know what I think?
What?
Bleh.
I thought you were gonna say,
Dude, I just thought I'm a fan of his all. Especially as an actor, I'm not a fan of him either. So that's my 2 cents.
Acting, but musically, he's pretty solid.
He's all right.
He's
Whatever.
got a cool
Dude,
voice.
he ain't in my playlist.
He can dance.
I'm a fan of Jessica Biel.
That's cool. He should be. I'm just giving you my 2 cents about it. I'm not a big fan of the guy. Straight up. I don't be. Huh?
That's exactly.
I don't listen to that.
The Mirrors album
It's okay. Send him home.
by him? Okay.
It's pretty solid for sure.
Okay.
Timberland produced, right? Yeah, it was. It
Okay.
was. He's got some good producers on that one, yeah, for sure.
Now, so Cry Me a River was on, right?
When you're making millions of dollars.
No, that was the one before that.
It's the one after his grandmother passed, right? Yeah.
That's the one that everybody was putting in vlogs and stuff.
Yeah.
He had his moment. He was doing talk shows and everything too.
Well, when you're an artist that big, which he will be very soon, you don't have to drop.
So we're talking top 5 in the world.
I'm talking he's going to be like
the world.
I don't even know why he's not right now.
Not just the city, but the world, Craig.
Like there should be, he should be selling out arenas.
He's
with
so
his
humble
skills.
too.
See, I
It's
know
amazing
he's so
how
humble
humble he is.
Yeah, man, and for real. When I first watched your channel, dude, I was like, it was like probably like 30 people out there, and I was like, there's no way that this dude is not going to be selling out arenas very soon, and I'd love to see your progress for sure. But I decline, and I deride. Can we get to the next one there? Oh,
That's Whitney Houston, right?
It is.
Yeah, I just saw the movie. I
Just Want to Dance.
Yeah, I Just Want to Dance with Somebody. Yeah, did you guys see the movie?
Yes.
It was so good. Yeah, I did not know anything about her personal life until the movie. Like that was like I had no idea any of that. Yeah, and like I grew up in Lithuania, so I didn't come to America until I was 19. So like I think only like 2 or 3 songs were actually like really really big of Whitney Houston in Lithuania. So like in Lithuania at least, like she wasn't as big of a star as like she actually is. When then you come to America, you realize, oh my God, these are like incredibly significant people.
Stars.
Yeah. Yeah, like, well, there's more, because people, have you ever heard of this band? I'm like, no, I've never heard of this band. And it's like, oh my God, that was like a cultural phenomenon, this particular artist during that particular decade.
Right.
Yeah.
Are so being in that part of the country, do you, go towards the United Kingdom artist a little more? Because there's a lot of rock and great music comes out of UK.
Oh yeah, it's like super accessible. So it's like the import export, call it figuratively, it's like very fast exchange when whatever comes out of the United Kingdom and then in between, and then United States of America, especially because historically it was like full lockdown, sort of like Iron Curtain kind of thing,
Right.
And then even when the Iron Curtain fell, the entertainment was not the priority. Like, oh my God, let's import all the VHS cassettes. Now it's 1991, so it's like, okay, all the artists. No, it was like, there's no food, shortage of power, water, gas, whatever. So the country didn't like become a country until like the later 90s, so there's a delay in culture, and then once the internet became popular, But they'll be like just obscure playlists because, they'll be like curated by one person on the radio station. So like I grew up listening to this particular sort of like playlist that the radio station played the same thing every day. And that was my idea. Oh, that's American music. No, that was just one guy's taste in Lithuania and his access to cassettes and the way he sorted that thing that like formed my inaccurate perception of who's a big artist. Like, ever heard of Suzi Quatro? I thought that's like the most famous person in America. You see, or Bonnie M.
Bonnie M. No.
I've heard
exactly.
of Bonnie M. But.
Yeah. They're not even from America, but I didn't even know.
Yeah. That's funny, man. What
different pools on different sides of the water.
Well, I definitely want to get more into that. And likewise. I think are we gonna do
I kind of messed up your game because you were supposed to.
Because all I was gonna say is The Bodyguard. That
Kevin Costner.
Like in the movie. She wasn't going to do the movie, and who's playing the bodyguard? Kevin Costner. And she like takes the script back. Yeah.
Well, I'll say Bobby Brown, and he knows him personally. So
when I look at that, I think it's sad. And then, unfortunately, I think Bobby took a lot of backlash for it, and I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Bobby's a good man. So
he is. But
he's a real dude.
But just like you said, you seen in the movie, man. I mean, you didn't know her personal life, but drugs were, and a lot of crazy things at that time. So, but it is the 90s.
Right.
Yeah. We got one last one, and then we're going to continue on. What we got?
That's Michael Bolton, right? He had like the most epic hair. I never seen him with this like short hair.
That's my first time seeing him.
Isn't this like the singing version of Fabio or something?
Yes.
Like, yeah. I can't even think of one song. What does he sing?
That was good enough.
The first thing that comes to my mind is when in the documentary Michael Jordan. What was it? The Michael Jordan documentary? Remember, he had the headphones on and he's doing all these dances, and people are thinking like, "Are you listening to hip hop?" He's like, listening to Michael Bolton.
See, what comes to mind to me is in the movie Office Space.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Any relation to the singer?
What song?
I mean, it's just so funny because
too.
because the guy has the same name of him, and they bring it up. That's what I think when I see that.
I was gonna say Office Space as well.
Yeah.
Well, what is a popular Michael Bolton song? Do we know off the top of our head?
Yeah, we can't
You got
even
anything for us,
name
John?
it. It's just like,
You got anything for us?
I'll look it up right
that's
now.
cheating.
Does it ring a Taco Bell over there?
No, the first thing that reminds me about those commercials that you hear late night, you're like half asleep. Or those commercials.
Absolutely. That's so funny, man.
Wow. Everybody has a different take, but it's a good one at the end of the day.
It is.
Thank you for participating.
Thank you.
It's always fun.
It's a new segment we're bringing into the podcast.
Yeah.
But let's get into the show that has to do with you, brother. Can you let our audience at home and our viewers also know where exactly did you pick up your instrumental genius? Who was the first person that put the instrument in your hand?
Well, I wanted to play violin since I was 6, but then it like in my culture, it's sort of like a man has to be a manly man. At 6.
At 6, right? Wow.
I said at 6.
So violin was
gonna make it.
That wasn't.
I was not gonna cut it. So, and plus I was like sick with asthma, so it's like, okay, you're gonna go to sports school, and that particular sports school was like after school program with like swimming, so it's like swimming but I still wanted to play music, So it wasn't until 13. I was 13 years old, and I got my first guitar, and it was my parents and my sister and I. We were in Germany for like a couple of months because my dad was working in Germany, and they have these flea markets, so they sell junk or just old vintage antique stuff, and it was like a guitar for 20 euros, so we got that beat up guitar for 20 euros, and when I was 13, and it started from there.
Okay. So the guitar was the catalyst to
and then I want to go to music school for a guitar, and then I went to the music school, and they're like, well, the teacher is booked up, but you can pick a different instrument. So the closest to the rock and roll or blues or feeling that I was going for was drums. So then I went to music school for drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, not guitar.
I mean, you play what? The list goes on. I mean, how many instruments do you play?
Well, I went to music school for drums, and then piano is mandatory, but then they didn't teach rock and roll, so I kind of self-taught rock and roll, and the boogie woogie on piano myself. And then guitar is like self-taught, but then bass is like 4 strings, so 2 strings less than a guitar, so self-taught on guitar. Then I picked up a harmonica, and I didn't know how to play it. And then the dude who sold the harmonica, he explained that inhale is more important than exhale. In playing like a diatonic, sort of like pentatonic thing. Yeah. So then I self-taught on harmonica. And then when you take drums, because it's not a melodic instrument, it's like not mandatory. I mean, it's not it's too harsh of a word. But for you to understand musical notation, they teach you like a marimba or a xylophone, which is like you still use percussive sticks, but it's like a large piano that you hit the keys, So then I play like marimba, xylophone, and that family of those instruments. And then I'm just self-taught singing, because they did teach solfeggio, but solfeggio is like, oh, la, la, so it's not like commercial singing, but like if you want to do like, Michael Bolton, just like, it's like self-taught. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then at this time that you're 13, getting this guitar and stuff like that, what were some of the music or the bands that were your inspiration?
So at the time I was embarrassed to admit it, but now it's like actually important because all music, is inspiring. And so the first CD that I ever bought for my own money was Britney Spears' Toxic. Oh, wow. In the Zone. It had Toxic on it, but it was in the Zone. Yeah. And then I was listening to Black Eyed Peas on MTV because Lithuania, for whatever reason, they just got the...
MTV Jam?
I don't know. My parents, they put the dish on the balcony, and then we got all these like channels from like God knows where,
I'm just in shock about the Britney Spears. That's all. Black Eyed Peas, I'm great with, but
that was the summer when Where Is the Love? That's when it came huge out. Yeah, and it's like I literally I can picture the playlist because it was Busta Rhymes Baby Forgive Me, right.
I'll give it to you.
I know what you want. Or what's the Kitschy Eye? It's like all
so that was like Moulin Rouge.
Not only the sound, like culturally, the portrayal of lifestyle, that was not something you see in Lithuania. No one lives like that. You never even hear about anyone even shooting a music video. You never even hear anyone, musician, performer, singer, songwriter, even perform anything remotely that sounds that cool. Right. So it's like, this is like a window into like a different planet. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to go there. Yeah. And then, so that pushed like, I want a guitar. I want to go to music school. I need to learn English. It's like, it was like the catalyst of like, oh, and they were showing MTV Cribs at the time. And then they were showing, you know what they were showing? Pimp My Ride.
Pimp My Ride.
Yeah.
Exhibit. I've never seen cars like, you should see cars in Lithuania at the time. It was like no.
It wasn't going to happen.
I can't even think of an equivalent American city like that, because you would see something that's like cool in any American city anywhere in the US, but it's like so cut off of the world, and for whatever reason, as a kid, so you're already like super impressionable, so that's why it's like there are laws against advertising for children because they're super impressionable, Yeah. So already like the imagination is like firing fireworks, and then seeing the lifestyle and the language, and people are like stiff. So in my culture, it's not like common to like say, hey, how are you, to strangers. Yeah. They don't do that. If you make eye contact with a stranger, like the best you're gonna get is like, what are you looking at? Right. What do you want? It's like, it's very like standoffish. Also, the language also structures the way you think, because you don't say you. So there's you as like formal you, and then there's you as a friend, So then you have to like guess if a person is like of higher status or older, or like, or like more respectable or ranks higher in the office or whatever, It's like, then it's like respectable you, or if it's your friend, so it's you. So the possibilities, and then, everything's gendered, every word, like table, this, and then the grammar within the language is also like, is it she or is it him, So it's like all the things,
Just the curves that he has to overcome just to come here. Like, can't say enough.
That's just, that come up has definitely crazy, man. Wow. I knew none of it.
No, I didn't either.
I'm glad I was able to pull that out.
The whole standoff thing to me is pretty comical in a way because
it's hilarious.
Still, I find it standoffish out here a lot of the time.
It's the same here.
You know?
No,
in
it's
certain
like
areas.
It seems like, hey, how are you? How's it going? It's like a substitute for hello, which is I think it's amazing. You know, even if it's not genuine, to have that as a custom, as a culture, as a country that has existed for less than 300 years. Oh my God, that is actually so useful. That's like an icebreaker in so many situations.
Absolutely.
You know?
Like I've been saying, let's go back to the basics, people. Hello, how are you? Good morning. Simple gestures.
What about happy AM? You know, that's my thing. I love seeing that.
Well, I do know they love their basketball in Lithuania for sure, huh? Is that
it's huge. Yeah. I mean, I'm not, you know, I wasn't into that because, you know, like, I don't know, I was like playing in high school and then like kind of like jammed my fingers and it's like I kind of stopped. But yeah, it's like because I think they like came close to beating the U.S. team once.
They did,
or something. So historically, and there's a bunch of Lithuanians in NBA. So whenever I do tell to someone that I'm from Lithuania, if they're like an NBA like fan and then like a history geek of NBA, they're like, oh, this guy and this guy from Lithuania too. You know, it's like, oh wow, you know. So that's sometimes like that's like a connection. You know,
right. There you go.
As one of those, like Brandy said, almost doesn't count.
So your trip to America and your moving to America. Let us know a little bit about that, man. How that whole transition come in? How did the play come in? I mean, what did you do for work? Right. How did that all work out? 2012, you said?
Yeah, 2012. Yeah. So I was 19. So I was already like doing gigs since I was 15. So I've been playing guitar like for like a year and a half, and then I started performing. Performed my first band when I was 15, and then I was 16. I auditioned for Lithuania's Got Talent. I was in the finals. Then I did Eurovision when I was 17. Then I did this other talent show. And then I auditioned for like some international talent shows. I didn't make it on those. And then, I graduated high school and I wasn't going to go to university or college in Lithuania because, well, what do you do? Even if you're like, super, super famous in Lithuania, like, no one's going to know you in Poland, and no one's going to know you in Latvia, and no one's going to know you in Belarus. That's it.
Gotta get out.
So it's like you go from one side to another side by car, like 3 hours, and the population is like 3 million, which most of them is abroad. So maybe out of 2 million people that are actually in the country, how many of them don't even like listen to music that's spoken or sung in English?
Right.
So what's the market share? What's the audience? So. There were no prospects, So when I did do the TV shows, there were a brief summer one year where I was recognized a lot, and people would stop and take pictures with me because I was on national television, and on the like there was the first season of Lithuania's Got Talent in Lithuania, and everyone was glued to their TVs, and I was in the finals, and they've never seen anyone play 5 instruments, or like sing in English or whatever. So it was like a huge boost of. I don't know, ego, let's call it, because I was 16, 17.
Yeah.
And, but there were no prospects, So, okay, I graduated high school. I'm going to go to UK or Germany because they're like more open to that, So I was taking German classes. I was like learning how to speak German because, you have to speak German. And then some guy from Sarasota, Florida saw my Lithuania's Got Talent video. And he's like, you should come. You should come. We have this festival sometime, you should come and play. And, what was like casual offhand is like, oh no, I'm latching onto this one.
Oh no,
wow, really?
Holding on.
So
wow,
I've never met him
crazy.
in person. And shout out to Steve Arvey. Actually, I keep in touch, and I just did a show with him like a couple of weeks ago. What for him was like, you should just come and, do this festival. And I did. I never met him in person. Only spoken on Facebook. Never even but I looked up his videos and, looked like a real musician. It wasn't like a organ harvesting kind of situation, So I sold like all my drums, all my guitars, and just left when I was 19. And I stayed with his friend for a bit. Then I got like a record deal. Within 1 month in America, then I got like a regular gig at this nightclub kind of thing, and got like a band together. It sounds better than it actually was because I'll tell you about the record deal. I'll tell you, because that was, out of you. And then I stayed ever since, in the U.S. since I was 19.
Wow.
And before we go into the record deal, how did your family feel about the transition that you made over here?
Well, I guess the whole culture is sort of like it's like a known that there's no opportunities here. So the sheer fact that I was playing music since I was performing since I was 15. And then my parents don't do music, you know, but it was sort of like a validation to see their probably kid on national television, and then, you know, have people, he's so good, he's like whatever, and then, you know, getting booked in different festivals in Lithuania and Poland, and, you know, going on like a little tour, you know, and performing different places, you know. So it was like, okay, there has to be a way to like utilize this talent, you know, beyond the provincial area, you know, of local constraints, you know. So they were supportive, you know. They were like, okay, well, go get your dream and go do it, you know, because if you're not going to do it now, you're going to regret it forever, you know, because what's here for you if you stay, you know, what you're going to do, you know.
Great parents, man. That's being supportive. Yep. Let's get back to that record deal, though. I want to hear about this.
Oh, God,
you come to America, you sign a record deal, all this love, all this stuff going on, and then
let's get the back scene of that.
So I thought, okay, so just like watching MTV, it's like, how do I get into that world, and how do I get there? You know, you learn music, then you learn how to manage a band and record.
Right.
So, well, here I am. I'm in the United States of America, and I have this record deal. So it's like, it's correct path, right? I'll record songs. I'll shoot a music video for one of the songs. I'll go on tour, and maybe a talent scout, you know, it's going to like put you on the thing. No, the model is dead.
I was there.
It does not exist. That's it. Oh. So I've tried everything. I've tried, you know, recording an album, releasing singles, shooting music videos, getting
demos,
promoter, manager, agent, you know, talking to this guy, other guy, everything that's traditional, that's like by the book, and it's dead.
Yeah.
Every year, like 2012, I came, got signed. 2013, tried this, did something, you know. Then I did like an international. It's called international, but it's like a blues competition. It's like the blues bands and then blues record labels go to Memphis and they like talent scouts. No, even what the blues labels make per year, it's like, we can get into that later. But it was 19. So you're naive. I have no idea.
Right.
Look, mom, dad. A contract.
Right.
Look, it says here that they're gonna like, it's gonna be like, you know, 65-35. So I get 65, they get 35, and they're gonna do this. So anyways, it was just two guys out of the garage, and one of them had an online degree. Okay. And when they released the songs, one of the songs were completely missing the guitar solo track because it was just neglectful. Another song was missing a harmonica thing. Then like vocals, you know, when you like record multiple takes of vocals.
Absolutely.
And you comp it, the best parts. It was just all left in, so it's like doubled vocals.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm talking about you, Del Couch, from
probably sitting on the couch right now.
Howling Dog Records. Yeah, and
fire on his ass. Let him know. Get him. There you go. Get his ass.
And might I ask, how long were you in this contract for?
Well, it was supposed to the album was supposed to be done in 3 months. It was like 3 years, you know.
Wow.
That's how they do it.
Talk about it, man.
Yeah. So but you know, just, you know, full of it, you know. So, but it's fine. It's learning experience, and I stayed, you know, and then continued to make music. You know, it's perseverance, tenacity, you know, and so.
It's beautiful, man. Perseverance, tenacity. That's definitely what it takes, especially for this game. It's ugly. Right. The music, getting into that. So, piggybacking off of all this, YouTube. So you've been very successful there, man.
Oh, thank you.
Smashing it.
What were some things that, you know, you did to your channel to get it to where it's at, and outside of your talent, obviously?
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I tried everything traditional, you know, when it comes to like, you know, traditional pathway towards musicians, whatever, you know.
Right.
It didn't work. And then my sister in 2015, she said that PewDiePie makes like $10 million a year off of YouTube. I'm like, what?
Right.
Because in my mind, it was for cat videos.
I can't believe you said
and
cat
memes.
videos.
And just memes. I was like, I'm not posting on YouTube. I'm gonna be on television.
Wasn't Vine big at that time too?
Yeah, I think Vine was. Yeah. So like, because my idea was I'm gonna go on on a television show, and then like, you know, the traditional, the sort of like established, and YouTube is not serious. This is like, No, that's for like that. I'm a serious artiste musician.
Right.
No.
Good day.
I did a little bit more research on Google.com. You know,
because they have all the answers, right?
They have all the answers.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, this is not a lie. You know, it's like this turns out because you know monetization did not exist in 2012, 2013. Right. So it was like fairly fresh, I think. You know, so like okay, I got a tripod. I got like a DSLR. Like a ring light, and then I sat in the chair because all the videos of successful people who I saw, they sat in the chair with a microphone. They looked at camera and they talked about something. Either they were like reacting to a video and doing memes, or like. So I'm gonna do that. So I sat down and I talked about this blues competition I was in with my band, you know, and posted a video. And it's just cringe. You cannot even see it. It's on private. No one will ever see it.
No access.
Okay? It's like in the vault.
In the vault.
We'll try to go ahead and have him show us that behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. And then, you know, I film another one. And it's so unnatural to me because I don't do that.
Right.
I have not been doing that. And then I thought, well, I'm already doing these gigs. So I'm gigging like 6-7 times a week, sometimes 8 times a week because it's like 2 gigs, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like Florida, bars, restaurants, tiki huts, whatever, or like hotel lobbies and everything. And just show up and play for 3 hours, you know? So I'll just film that. So I bring a tripod and a DSLR and I put it and I film. And a DSLR shuts off after 25, 30 minutes, you know? So it shuts off. And then I just post. I post on YouTube 25, 30 minute, just like jam, just like 30-minute video of just one angle. It's not moving, you know, it's just audio, direct audio, you know. Who's gonna watch that, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, where's my views? I mean,
Yeah, that's where we started. Mm-hmm.
Right. So okay, so that's not working. So I need like a camera that doesn't shut off after 30 minutes. So I got one of those like a GoPro knockoffs off of Amazon.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like a GoPro, like a clamp that I put on the edge of the guitar, you know, and that shuts off at the time after like 2 hours. So I would film like 2 hours, and then I would post like 2 hour segments. Genius, right? And then I thought, okay, I'm gonna post just the song. So I'm gonna clip where I begin the song or where I end the song, and I'm gonna just chop it up into individual videos. And again, nothing. So 2015, 2016, nothing. No one cares. And then there would be banter sometimes, because sometimes you have like weird interactions, especially with bars. People consume alcohol, they feel more loose, and then they say something, you know.
I like how you said weird. That's a good word for that, because it'd be different for me. Believe me, working them as long as I have. As weird as you're being nice.
So
they're a bunch of sticks, is what it is. Shit. Jesus.
So I started leaving the conversation and the banter, you know, before and after. And that was the first video that blew up in 2017, September. This lady, can you play Tender Surrender by Steve Vai, which is unplayable song by guitar standards. It's like, there's no way. Tough. It's like a challenge to like stump you. But I was like jamming all night, you know, so, and then I gave it a try. And it's like within the first week, I think it was like 1 million. And then Guitar World magazine wrote an article. Then like this other magazine, then it got like featured abroad on like television, and like Hungarian news talked about it. This guitarist at a bar, you know, because somebody sent me like from Hungary, right? Yeah. And then, well, that was almost, you know, it could have been one hit wonder. That could have been it. But then I just kept posting every day. And then I found that it's like, oh, it's interesting when someone requests a song that is almost like a challenge to me, and then I'm up to meet the challenge, because that happens all the time. People request songs from bar musicians all the time. Can you play this? And, you know, normally if you don't know the song, you can say, well, I don't know it. And that's the end of the story. But I say, I don't know the song, but I can listen to it and try to figure it out. And then it's also like, becomes like as if you're like ordering something that's not on the menu. So creates like even like a special sort of like relationship with a listener between the artist. And then it's like super interesting on YouTube. So then I think by 2018 I had like 250,000, and I think I hit like 1 million in 2021. And I think right now it's like at 1.5 million. And then, you know, subsequently I discovered other sort of like formats that work really well. You know, like the singer steals the show, or like crowd reacts when something happens, you know, or like, you know, like, what did I post? I had like a guitarist come up on stage with me, or like, yeah, crowd starts to dance when I play the song, and I'm just playing 89 plus, you know, and it's just crowd dancing and just me playing my song. And that's like 1 million views, you know, for no reason, you know.
No, it's for a great reason. It's for your magic, brother. Because I'm telling you, we are not worthy.
No, thank you.
You're not worthy.
Oh, and interesting, like in November of 2021, Facebook blew up for me. I started posting the same stuff that I post on YouTube, just uploading it natively on Facebook, and that like took off, and it was like big in Philippines, completely like new set of eyeballs, people that don't even like use YouTube, because in some countries all of their internet is not Google, it's just Facebook. That's their internet, So then that got discovered by like a new audience, totally.
So that kind of took you to a whole nother level, because we always are talking on this podcast about algorithms and YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all the numbers and
engagement.
Engagement, exactly. And Facebook does get left behind, but it is internationally huge.
Yeah.
So just like you said, you seen a boost when you started posting on Facebook and all that good stuff, huh?
Yeah, it was really weird, And then, well, I'm not as active on TikTok and Instagram.
I was just about to ask, how's the TikTok world treating you?
Well, I have a gentleman that's like takes my long format video and then chops it up and makes it vertical. And out of like 1 8-minute video, he can make like 3 or 4 videos, and then he'll post for me on Facebook, Reels, IG Reels, and TikTok. Just to have something. But it's like it's not as engaging for whatever reason, because my format works for people who do have patience to listen to a longer song, and if people are primed to consume content that's 15, 20, 30 seconds tops, it's not even designed for that.
Right.
Because it takes time to build a song or like play a song, or like it's 30 seconds is even shorter than the song. The song is like 3 minutes, know? So it's like, I don't know, it's finding that perfect balance between the form of medium and the person who's intended to receive the message, that yeah.
Man,
I received that message.
I think a lot of people learned a lot right there.
Seriously.
And we kind of talked a little bit off camera about it, but when you get to the higher levels of the social media and what's going on, what are some of the hurdles that you do come across? I mean, we had a little bit of a conversation about it, percentages and stuff with YouTube and with other entities that approach you, obviously.
Well, it's not like, so it's a first world problem, So anything that it's not 9 to 5, and I still get to do music and play in front of people, that's a blessing, So like,
so true. So
sort of like have an aura of complaining, well, the percentages are not fair because they take the copyright. It's like fair, but like not does not exist in the real world, where people work shifts upon shifts and then pay bills so it's like, YouTube does take a percentage, which is fine. There's no other website in the world where I could like host and have, what I have. And not only have what I have, is just the sheer fact to bypass the television. Like all of my idea of like, oh, I'm going to go on television and people are going to see me, it's like the views are tracked, the demographics are tracked. I can see even through my Spotify analytics which cities stream which songs the most, so it's like, and it's like a blessing to have this access to this technology, and not to have to go through the gatekeepers who curate who will be on the TV show, then the producers and the script writers of who, then they put makeup on you, and then they tell you how to stand, they tell you how to play. Then there's like FCC telling you you're not going to say these words and you're not going to play these songs. So it's like I can just do whatever,
Right.
Taking you out of it.
Control
really
it.
Takes that element
so
away
it's
from
like
us.
Yeah, it's a Han Solo. It's just like
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Han Solo.
Okay.
Definitely.
So I want to ask you something about Sarasota when you started there, and I saw a lot of your videos, and I want to know about these cops, because what pisses me off when I watch that, you're doing such a positive thing, okay? And they just throw a negative into it that I just don't get.
So,
I can't comprehend why, and I want to know why.
So I think it's not all cops. I think it's just Becky, and that's her name.
Or Nancy.
Becky.
No, her name's Becky. Wow, I love this. Just call her out. Yeah, I love it. So she just...
Hi, Becky. Miss me?
That
Oh man.
No, so what happened was somebody called in a noise complaint.
Okay.
Because
this is like in the downtown area where there's a bunch of bars and stuff. Is that?
Yeah. There's a bunch of restaurants.
Okay.
And Becky shows up, and Becky has a gun, so Becky's cool. She has a gun and a badge. With badge means you can use the gun, So, and the crowd was having a great time, and they're like, and Becky's like, well, you got to turn down. I'm like, okay, and she's like, you need a permit, which is not true because in America you have the First Amendment. Oh my God, So on the public ground, music is considered free speech. I did not know that because I had to research it because I did thought that I needed a permit. I did not need a permit. And then somebody like, whoa, don't shut him down. Like, no, let him play. And Becky's like, you want to go to jail? You want to go to jail? So, and everything's filmed, the whole thing. So I just posted it unedited, just. Here you go. Police shut me down when I played this song. Yeah. Well, Becky saw that and she got really upset. So then she went to the city manager to see if she can make sure that there's cops always when I am there, so that I immediately get a ticket. And after 3 tickets, you got to go to court. And if you don't go to court, you go to jail. So it's and then she was close friends, probably still is, with Rachel, who is the so it's almost like a homeowners association.
Oh yeah,
but
okay. This should be fun.
the business sort of the business HOA. Off that downtown. Right. Hi, Rachel. Anyways,
was she the president of the HOA?
She's the head of it. So
we'll talk about this later off camera.
So then Rachel shut off all of the electricity, so I couldn't even plug in anywhere.
God. Wow.
Yeah, really, which is public access, by the way.
That's terrible.
Dang.
Yeah. And then so I couldn't even play there anymore, And then Rachel got hired a law firm. And then they sent me.
They are doing the most.
A cease and desist letter.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a real cease and desist letter signed by 10 attorneys.
Who served you?
It came by mail on December 24th.
Oh, on Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah, so good.
That's so cold for you.
Yeah. So what I did, I filmed a video of me reading the letter, and.
Yeah. One up.
I love this.
One up.
So I just read the letter, and the letter had a typo. So it was all caps at the bottom. Govern yourselves accordingly, but they missed the R, so it was accordingly. So I thought it was a real word, right? I didn't even notice it until somebody pointed out in the comments when I read the letter on the video. Mm-hmm. So then I made a limited run of T-shirts of says govern yourselves accordingly, and it's an actual quote from a letter signed by 10 lawyers, December 24th, 2021. It's sold out like that. So
yeah,
I made lemonade out of lemons.
I love this guy.
And then 2 months in, because it's the video is racking up views, people are leaving 1-star reviews on St. Armand's Facebook. Right. I get a call. It's I don't know this number. It's the mayor of City of Sarasota. He's I was made aware of this situation. I'd like to meet with you. And politicians are so sweet. They're so sweet.
They try.
Yeah. So I met up.
Do you at least take you to lunch?
Right.
It was Starbucks.
Cheap
coffee.
Cheap, yeah.
A cup of coffee.
Dude, so we go to Starbucks, and he set up a meeting with him, me, and Rachel.
Rachel was there.
Yeah.
Not Becky?
Rachel,
Not Becky. Didn't want to show up.
Not the Becky.
Not the other
cop.
weirdo.
Yeah. So, and we're talking. Rachel's not taking any responsibility, but we're agreeing to disagree, and put this behind us, and something like that. And then I said, okay, well, send me another letter saying that it's all good and I can play, And the mayor did, it didn't say what, he said it was going to say. I didn't ask for keys to the city, but I did ask for a specific language that, it's hey, just if I get not pulled over, but harassed by police, if I can show this, and which was nice. So they sent the letter, and I, did the video sort of to smooth over everything. And here's this nice letter. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. This and
such a nice guy.
And sort of instead of bashing Rachel, I said, well, we got together and we defeated the misunderstanding, as opposed to us versus each other, which no, us together versus the problem, which probably was misunderstanding, which was more to it. Anyways, Rachel never turned the power back on, So I just
so she breached that contract.
Yeah, after all that. So no. Yeah.
So how's Becky doing?
Well, Becky, she's about to retire in a couple of years, I think, and she's just like she's ever since the incident, I think, it's just enhanced her salt levels. So she's just salty about everything. And dude, if you're gonna like read a headline, a police officer shoots unarmed a person, it's probably gonna be Becky.
Oh wow, that deep, huh? I would say to one up it again. Find out what her last day is working. And just make a show of that. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Rub it in.
And then the reason I know that all the power is like still off on St. Armand Circle everywhere, because I'm friends with a lot of other people that go and busk and try to perform. All the old battery powered. They can't plug in anywhere.
So you had the meeting, and then Rachel backstabbed you and kept the power off.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, man.
Yeah.
What a great human being.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I tried to call the mayor, and I could not ever reach him on the phone again.
Of course you couldn't.
Of course I could. Yeah.
Took you to Starbucks.
Yeah. I hope you got the grande.
What a douche.
Yeah, that's
run up that bill.
Man, that's some. I'm sorry to even hear that. But hey, look where you're at now, and
we're here. We're here.
Well, that's why they get mad, because your videos blow and they look like douches. And that's the problem. That's why they get upset, for sure. But I want to talk about I want to be a mumble rapper. How'd that come out, bro? What's up with that?
I was listening to Migos, and it was my jam. Migos Culture 2, like on repeat.
Love Culture 2.
And then like the language, the accent, sort of like, so you already like, so when you learn English in Lithuania, so like the closest version you're going to get is like the British English, and all the textbooks are written for the British sort of like English, right, and the pronunciation. And then, there's like a southern accent of like, how like people in Texas speak, and then the words and the slang. And then there's like outdated slang of blues. When I first started playing guitar, it's like, what is hoochie coochie man? What is, some Muddy Waters song from 50s.
Yeah.
Crossroads.
Yeah, Crossroads, right? So not only like, it was already a challenge, like learning like the proper English, and then sort of like the song poetic English, and then the English depending on the slang of the decade and where it came from, so like blues 50s, 60s, then the British punk of the 90s, and then like trying to understand like what is like diamonds on my wrist like McFlurries. What is that? And then going to Urban Dictionary.
So funny.
Right? Diamonds on my wrist. Or like skirt. Like, what's a whip? So, it's a luxury vehicle. Now I know. So, because I was not introduced or exposed to that aspect of the meaning and the slang and the culture and how it sits within the history of America and how it developed or anything, and how artists and songwriters use words to illustrate different points. And for them, it's not like, oh, let me use this word. They're like, they grew up using that, they just like, and I did not grow up in that. I was not immersed in that. So for me, that's like a different planet, So, and that's the mumble rapper, sort of like, that's my imagination of like trying to like, what does it say? How does the you call an Uber, but I got a chopper?
It's so catchy, bro. It's so catchy. Yeah, you gotta call an Uber, but I got a chopper. Yeah.
And that's sort of like the same genre of how I wrote Amish Whip or 89 Plus.
Amish Whip was the first thing I seen.
Because it's like I learned, drip is like jewelry. So it's like, okay, so I can like add that in the lyric. I did not grow up using the slang terms. Sort of like using it creatively. To write a piece of music. But
right.
Yeah, for me that's amazing.
That was some amazing work. Also,
that song is catchy.
I got a really good question for the behind the scenes stuff.
Okay.
Give us your craziest fan situation.
Craziest fan situation. It's really hard to tell because probably the craziest one is you would not know until it's happening, because sometimes people they are your fans, but they're not going to let you know, because they're like trying to get close to you or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's like the most scary or the craziest because you don't know what's going on. Yeah. But for them, it's like pre-planned, premeditated. They know where you're going for breakfast on the daily. They know where you live, you know, and then you encounter them and you think it's a stranger, but they have like
latitudes and all that stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's the scary, that's the creepiest one. Yeah,
Definitely, man.
Something like that to happen, you know.
Celebrity lifestyle, right? I did want to say, so what are your practicing habits? Because I know, you know, as a musician, you have to be practicing, trying new music, trying new things out.
Yeah.
You know, for our audience, you know, what are some things that you do, you know, practicing to make yourself better? You know?
I think like, so I used to have a routine where I would, you know, practice 5-6 hours a day when I started playing guitar when I was 14, 15. And I had like, you know, written out like different plans for different days, you know. And I do like this scale on Monday, a different scale with like different arpeggios on Tuesday, you know. So right now I don't necessarily do that, but I practice when I like watch a movie at the house, you know. So it's like a movie.
Smart.
It's like two hours, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just on the couch, electric guitar. It's not plugged in, so you can't hear it, but I'm just like
muscle,
you know, just going through the motions, you know, because it's like for me it's as natural as breathing, so I don't need to like pay attention or think of it. It's like almost mechanical, because that's the point where you want to get to it. Right. You're not looking at it, and you don't need to like, you know, have any of that. So
absolutely,
I couldn't even do that with Guitar Hero. I still have to look down for the colors. Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing with me is I played around. You know, I do a little piano stuff, but guitar is just so tough on your fingers. And I know you condition yourself to be in that, and it's practice, just like everything. But I started strumming, and I'd be like.
And I noticed you weren't using the pick either. You weren't using the guitar pick at all.
No,
so
I do. I just picked it up because you know. But
he's that much of a master.
No, you know, my mitts haven't played with the damn guitar, so I'm good. You know, I don't. No. I appreciate the art for them, but no, that's what they call me, mitts, because my hands are big. I ain't trying to play with no strings like that. I enjoy watching people do it, but I ain't trying.
Man, the guitar is
it's amazing.
It's one of the most amazing instruments to me. That and the piano and drums, and you play all three. So
I mean, Slash from Guns N' Roses was amazing.
We'll ask him who are some of your inspirations.
Yeah,
For the music, the first CD was Britney, but then I discovered guitar, right?
That's right, yeah.
And
I'm sorry, man. It's funny to me.
It's hilarious.
It's funny to me. I don't know any of that shit.
Yeah. So I had this like blues CD, and it was like a compilation. So it was like John Lee Hooker, Lightning Hopkins, and B.B. King.
B.B. King.
So that was like the foundation. And then I discovered like, you know, Muddy Waters, Little Walter, Robert Johnson. You know, and then I think that was like pretty much it. And then, I've seen the 1986 movie Crossroads with Steve Vai.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
Steve Vai.
Yeah. So like Steve Vai, and that like you can do that with guitar. You know, you can make it talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let it sing. Hendrix, all these guys, man. It's so awesome, man. Definitely.
Even Carlos Santana.
I do want to say this though. You've had so many looks during the years, man. I've seen them over the years change. You're in a good space right now. Looks like you've lost some weight. You're in the gym doing your thing. What's the process, brother?
Well, the process. Well, I was in the not a good relationship for 9 years, right?
Oh.
So, and I've actually, you know, talked about it on a buddy of mine podcast. You know,
Gotcha.
I did like an episode about that. You know, so I just kind of like
toxic.
Well, it was like beyond that. I called cops twice. Ooh. You know, and there were like doors broken and. When I was like live streaming,
wow,
I had to.
Sucks.
Well, yeah, there's like, you know, too much to it, you know. So
yeah,
like,
I don't want to.
Was she from here though? Was she
American? Yeah,
it's American.
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, so I just like, you know, grew facial hair because I didn't want to see myself in the mirror, you know, the way I am. I just wanted to hide myself from my own reflection, you know. And then I got out of that in December of 2021, January 2022, you know, and then, you know, started, you know, just like. Okay, I'm gonna like, I've wasted my 20s, I suppose, you know, but I'm gonna like, you know, reclaim my independence and you know, that's my first car. You know, I could not get a driver's license because she wouldn't let me get a driver's license. You know, so then I left to get a driver's license. She's 12 years older than me. You know, so
you're 30. Yeah.
I was 20 when I met her, and she was 32. You know, so I guess that was.
We all done it in here at one point. I'm sure. It happens. If you haven't, I don't know what to tell you. I'm too old now, but we all went down that road.
DMs now, huh?
He's like, what?
Yeah.
Continue though.
Yeah. So, you know, and then, you know, it started just like, you know, taking care of myself, you know, both like inside and outside, and just I've always been, you know, been working out, but it's just, you know, now I just not only work out, but I also watch what I eat, I suppose, you know. And then sort of like 2022 was kind of like a transformation year. Like, you've never been that independent, you know, never was like allowed to be that independent, and just to, you know, to truly, you know, just like get in the car and just go anywhere you want. Like, never experienced that.
Well, that's where your growth started. You know, so awesome. You just had a lot of growth going on. You know, you figured it out. That's
essentially, like I've like crammed all of my 20s and into one summer. You know, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go all over America and just do whatever. And this is kind of what I did. You know, like May, June, July, just like went from Florida to LA to top of Michigan, back to Florida, then to Indiana from Florida. It's just like, you know,
a
like,
world tour, bro.
Yeah, like I think it's like I got the car since last March, so 30,000 miles.
It's a beautiful ride too,
and counting.
Yeah, and counting. Thank you.
So did I miss? So I'm from Michigan. Where in Michigan did you go?
Traverse City, Michigan.
Oh, Traverse City, Cherry Town, right? The guy Mastermind this is his studio. He's from Michigan as well. So
that's cool.
we're from Lansing.
Okay.
He's from Westland. So yeah, Traverse City's, man, it's beautiful scenery, isn't it?
It was, well, that's not the experience I had.
I guess I was going to take my question. Least favorite
I gotta
experience.
show you.
Let's hear Michigan the Beautiful real quick.
I have a picture. It's a picture of a toast, and that sums up my entire Michigan experience. And I don't know if I'll be able to like pull it up fast enough before you lose interest in it. But let's see. I have to have it somewhere. And you tell me, what do you think of this toast? It was at
toast. We're talking about toast.
Like a toast, like a piece of bread that's toasted.
Toast bread.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I'd love to hear what you guys think of it. God,
Traverse City's the cherry capital. People go there all summer.
I gotta find it. Where is this? Because it's like
so they specialize in like cherry pies.
Are you a celebrity there then? If I went over there and said they know Lance the Man, what about
I get a free cherry
would they know left field?
No, I haven't been back to Michigan in 6-7 years.
So this is a breakfast toast at Traverse City, Michigan. What do you think?
What half of that did you eat?
Let me see that.
Show the camera too, bro.
Was that meant to be folded?
Or
did you scrape the other half of that off?
It looks like a burnt piece of cheese.
That's it. I don't know what. It's just like they just did half
not
of
go
it.
all the way in the toaster, and that was just overkill.
Did you see it?
So it's a piece of marbled bread.
Yeah,
with,
Lance, is that a traditional Traverse City, Michigan toast?
Yeah.
Say it again.
Is that traditional toast?
No. This is not how it's supposed to go. It looks like it was toasted halfway.
It looks like he was scraping for life.
Well, there's another plate next to it too, and it looks like that's
same.
what they do.
That's what they do.
Is that?
I don't know. It looks like a burnt piece of cheese or something on there.
Did you even take a bite?
No, of course not.
Okay.
So that was my Traverse City sort of like an amalgamation.
And the whole thing.
Yeah.
Michigan did not do you right, huh?
No.
I know, man. I hate to hear that.
Hey, at least I could burn fires on the beach.
Yeah, Traverse City's.
And I'm sure you didn't get in trouble with any cops with any concerts you're doing, or just having fun, right?
Yeah, I wasn't playing at Traverse City.
No Becky there?
Just hanging.
No.
Becky's always. I want to hear that name, Becky. Now I'm going to think about this whole situation. Now I'm just letting you know.
That's funny.
So I do want to ask you this too. So, what I do notice in your content, which is so watchable, and it's you get kind of hooked. You do a deep dive into your stuff. You watch one video, you start watching more videos. Mm-hmm. So, how do you tell a purposeful story in what you're saying in your content? You get what I'm saying? Like the purpose of it, and you're really engaging in it. So, what's the trick to that you use in that, man? It's so good.
I think I have not thought about it in this sense, but I guess there's no trick because if it's real in person, it would work. It works without cameras, and I've been doing that without cameras. I've been performing in front of people since I was 15, so I have like experience in sort of like engaging, entertaining with a genuine flavor. So for me, like, you know, to interact and bring people and make it personal to them, you know, and like I am playing the song for them, almost like personally, you know, right. And so if that's like true in real life, the camera just seems to capture that. So I think it's just people's curiosity and sort of like living vicariously through events like that happen to be captured, almost like developing a parasocial relationship. It's not necessarily like, not voyeurism, but it's just like you see movies and stories and the characters, and the movie scene takes place in somebody's private home. You don't even think that you are watching two people talking in their bedroom or in their kitchen, but essentially it satisfies a very particular curiosity of voyeurism. And, you know, it's like a bad word because it's like, oh no, this is like against the moral code of our society. But look at every story ever told and every movie ever filmed. You're watching, whether it's fiction or based on true events this summer. It's someone's life story.
Yeah.
The Whitney Houston movie.
Yeah.
We were all, her talking to her girlfriend. We all sat in the movie theater and watched it. And it was private conversations. Yeah. Deeply intimate things. Bobby Brown thing, you know, like in the car, like, no, babe, I love you, you know. Yeah. That was meant only between them. So people do want to see other people interact. So you just turn the camera on. It's kind of what we're doing now. You know, it's the fact that it's genuine conversation, right. The fact that it's like not scripted, improvised, and actually like off the top of the head. It makes it interesting to people. People love watching other people. I think it's that simple and no trick, you know.
Absolutely, man. Man. We could go all day, man, with you, man.
We definitely need to bring you back.
Oh, please do.
Okay.
Man.
But also on this platform, we're really big on positivity. Mm-hmm. So just, you know, one moment of positivity you can leave the compadres at home with.
Yeah, people that are watching, man, something that you...
Give them a positive note for the day.
Put him on the spot, right? Jeez.
Yeah.
He was just talking about
He's a very positive person, so it flows out.
I think like a hot shower helps me. It's sort of like, it's almost like subconsciously like resets me, even if it's like a day is going halfway bad, and then I take a hot shower. It also like tricks me as if it's like a morning of a new day, even if it's like a midday. So I think like a hot shower is good. Not everybody's into like a cold shower, but I've been doing like cold showers too. So that's really good, but you know, not everybody's into that. Well, exercise too. You know, if you like, do you catch yourself like, oh, I know, this is what I do. Okay, there we go. So like sometimes when you're like experiencing, you know, like a sense of loss, not in the like literal sense, but sort of like a deprivation or like a breakup or something, and then especially if a person is more leaning towards being introverted, it will seem like you're losing part of the world. So it's like the look will become very narrow, and then naturally you're going to want to try to close off. And it's like, no, I don't feel like hanging out with nobody. No, I don't feel like doing that. So it's actually like what I've been doing is just going more expansive. You know, and like, okay, I'm going to hang out with more people. I'm going to do more things, you know, just to remind myself that the world is much more bigger than I can possibly imagine. And there's way more people on the planet that I can possibly ever meet or imagine, as opposed to like going through a like a domestic breakup split situation. It's like, oh my God, my entire world is breaking. It's not. You're looking like this, and you just gotta like open the iris of the lens. It's like, dude, it's like the camera. It's like if you turn the aperture, it's like, oh my God, why is it so dark? Literally open up the iris of the lens, and then you let more light in, and then it's like the f-stop is down, I think, or yeah, f1.2 or something on the lens, you know. So you literally metaphorically open your lens to like 1.2, and then to let as much light as possible, you know.
Great.
Wow.
That was a great one.
That was
before we do our outros, we always like to say this. We definitely. So somebody that you can, a friend of yours, somebody that you think would be good for the podcast, you can bring on, help us bring on to the podcast next. Yeah, man.
Someone who has a story to, you know, shine a light on the rest.
And that would be awesome, man, for sure.
Oh, I can think of a bunch of people.
Awesome.
Well, not a bunch, but like, you know, like
we'll finish off camera for sure. But I always like to ask that question for sure. So, man.
And please let everybody at home know where to find you.
Yes, please.
What's going on?
What's going on with you?
What you got going on next?
Blockbuster near you. Let's go to 7-Eleven.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll link everything in the description.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's in the description. Yeah.
Gotcha, man.
Thanks so much for having me. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
Man,
Thank
you're
you.
It was a
amazing.
good time, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Compadres
for
can't
coming
say
by.
enough about this, man. And at this point, compadres, y'all know what to do. That's at ComPODres. And to my right this time, Lance the man himself.
I am _ill son.
And also to my right this time, Joey Rosati.
We're still doing Riz on the his up. But
God.
I'm so glad.
You put the vote
I
out there.
haven't changed it yet, and the vote was a little
God.
screwed up because Mark voted for 5 times.
Whose vote are you waiting on then to change it?
No, I can't even see him. I just know where it's at. It's about. It's going to change. I'm
Good.
going to go to Joe Rosati, even though Mark screwed with the numbers. But thank you guys. It was a great episode and a great guest. It was a great time.
You
you.
are amazing, brother. Amazing. Can't say enough, compadres. And like that, we're
I
gone.
need all the wins. Yeah.